Solicitor Michael Howard resigns. Instead of sending DUI cases forward for prosecution, the solicitor sent some DUI cases to a pretrial diversion program. We're now uncovering that less than half of the drivers actually completed any course related to that program, a program that Georgia law doesn't even allow them to enter in the first place.
Washington County, Georgia has a problem. Some might say even a corruption problem. These two incidents look familiar, and they both took place in Washington County, Georgia.
That right there don't make no motherfucking sense, y'all. This Sandyville Police Department, this shit don't make no motherfucking sense. This guy just getting off of fucking work, y'all. I swear to God, this man just got off of work. They harassing this goddamn dude. He ain't did shit, y'all. I swear to God, this man they beating on this man. They is beating on this man. Oh my God, they beating on this man. Y'all, this man drive a black Mustang, just getting off of work. What you say his name was, babe? Perchy, y'all. This is Perchy, whoever the fuck y'all help your people, man. These folks harassing this man.
A Sandersville firefighter was arrested May 2026 on sex crimes that he committed between April and July 2023. 3 years later. Now let's get back to these two and their so-called connections with a bail bond company. OCGA, the 8th of November 45. A. Regulation bars any elected official, officer of the court, law enforcement officer, or attorney in this state to engage either directly or indirectly in the bail bond business. Any involvement by defendant Mrs. Howard would violate this statute because any profit due Mrs. Howard would constitute marital property under Georgia law. Transcript of deposition of Michael Howard's father-in-law. On January 9, 2026, a deposition of Emery Dean Wilcher Sr. was taken under oath as part of the pending civil suit. The complete article and transcript of deposition can be found here at. In September 2025, Peggy Cooper and Corey Womble filed a civil suit against Amy and Michael Howard, Emery Dean Wilcher Sr., Washington County Bail Bonding LLC, and an employee of the company, Blake Moy. The suit alleges that Amy and Michael Howard participated in a fraudulent and extortionate scheme, orchestrated to extract unlawful payments for bonding from the Washington County Jail, among other things.
Michael Howard resigns. Instead of sending DUI cases forward for prosecution, the solicitor sent some DUI cases to a pretrial diversion program. We're now uncovering that less than half of the drivers actually completed any course related to that program, a program that Georgia law doesn't even allow them to enter in the first place.
For weeks, 12 on Your Side has been digging through case after case
Place you on arrest for DUI
of suspected DUI driver's arrest in Washington County, Georgia. We uncovered at least 95 DUI cases that former Washington County Solicitor Michael Howard appears to have just dismissed. Traffic citations show some of the drivers had more than double the legal limit of alcohol in their system. 12 on Your Side investigates found cases dismissed citing insufficient evidence or because drivers agreed to classes or supervision of a pretrial diversion program. The pretrial diversion program is designed to provide an alternative to prosecuting defendants in the criminal justice system. Defendants are supervised and usually have to take classes. Georgia law allows prosecuting attorneys to send someone to these programs if certain guidelines are met. One of those guidelines says anyone with an offense that has a mandatory minimum sentence of incarceration or imprisonment does not qualify. Georgia's DUI law does have a mandatory minimum sentence, meaning it wouldn't qualify for a pretrial diversion program. We found 55 of the 95 dismissed cases were sent to Michael Howard's pretrial diversion program. But 12 on Your Side uncovered 26 people, less than half, had proof they completed any classes. Those included a defense driving course, driver improvement, or DUI risk reduction class. We found Michael Howard's office has no records of formal applications into the program. Defense attorney Ben Sessions has been an outspoken critic of Howard.
None of those defendants face any of the consequences that you would typically expect of a DUI case. No probation, no community service, no fines, None of the stuff, no insurance consequences, none of those things that we expect the person to have to be accountable for in a DUI case are being imposed in those cases.
Like this driver passed out behind the wheel on the wrong side of the road.
No, you finna kill somebody or either yourself?
Howard dismissed his case and sent it to pretrial diversion on August 28, 2023. That same day, the GBI lab received the blood sample from the sheriff's office. More than a month later, on September 22nd, results from the blood test came back at a 0.196, more than twice the legal limit of 0.08. We also found drivers with previous DUIs were allowed into pretrial diversion, like this one.
Have you been charged with DUI before?
Yes, I missed.
013.
I had one previous, and then I'm also going to court right now for another one.
This driver was also allowed into pretrial diversion. Less than a year before, they received a DUI from the Davisboro Police Department. GBI blood test results show a 0.227. This driver's DUI was also dismissed, and it wasn't his first. 12 On Your Side Investigates found a DUI 3 years earlier in this crash report with the Washington County Sheriff's Office. The driver said to be under the influence of alcohol, passed out again behind the wheel. He had run a stop sign and hit a road sign. We found the driver was only charged with improper turn and failure to exercise due care.
Right now, we know the investigation into Howard's actions are still ongoing. The GBI and the Prosecuting Attorneys Qualifications Commission are still involved. Of course, we'll keep you posted as we learn more. New tonight, after a 12 On Your Side investigation raised questions about why some DUI cases were not being prosecuted, the state court solicitor of that county has resigned. Our investigation showed videos of drivers who tested over twice the legal limit appearing to walk free with their cases being dismissed. Less than a week since we brought you our investigation, County Solicitor Michael Howard today stepped down.
It's a frequent scene for law enforcement.
Place under arrest for DUI, okay?
Place you under arrest for DUI.
DUI drivers on the roads in Washington County, Georgia.
Are you all right? Down on him.
Some drivers found behind the wheel, passed out in the middle of the road. 12 On Your Side Investigates has now uncovered at least 95 DUI cases in Washington County, cases given to us by the clerk of court that Solicitor Michael Howard appears to have just dismissed. Arrests that were made by the Georgia State Patrol, Sandersville Police Department, and the Washington County Sheriff's Office. Traffic citations show some of the drivers were more than double the legal limit. We sat down with Michael Howard last week, who told us he'd done nothing wrong, stood by his decisions, and even welcomed an investigation into how he handles cases, all while there were calls on him to leave office. Do you have any plans to resign?
I have no plans to resign.
12 On Your Side Investigates found cases dismissed citing insufficient evidence or because drivers agreed to classes or supervision of a pretrial diversion program.
I'm elected by the citizens of Washington County, and I have the discretion to prosecute a case or not prosecute a case.
Does the judge have any say in whether these cases were dismissed or not?
That's a gray area of the law, and I think that would be settled by an examination of my work.
We found 55 of the 95 dismissed cases were sent to pretrial diversion. Some of the DUI cases included other charges too, like hit and runs, endangering children, and even running troopers off the road. Georgia law seems to be pretty clear about it too, and so do other prosecutors in other pretrial diversion programs, that DUIs don't typically fall into the category of being able to enter into pretrial diversion programs. What do you have to say? What's your interpretation of that?
Well, I think that's a gray legal area.
Georgia law allows prosecuting attorneys to send someone to these pretrial diversion programs if certain guidelines are met. One of the guidelines says anyone with an offense that has a mandatory minimum sentence of incarceration or imprisonment does not qualify. Georgia's DUI law does have a mandatory minimum sentence. Offenders have to spend a mandatory 24 hours in jail.
I am 100% confident that I have done nothing that any other prosecutor has not done in the state of Georgia.
But 12 on your side went looking in other counties. Forsyth County Solicitor General told us DUIs aren't allowed in their program because Georgia law doesn't allow it. Clayton County's District Attorney told us no DUIs are allowed into their pretrial diversion program. Gwinnett, Hall, and Coweta County's websites all explicitly say DUIs are not allowed in their programs.
It's very easy to go back and be, Monday morning quarterback, but I would challenge anyone, go to any prosecutor's office anywhere and go and analyze, microanalyze any cases that were dismissed. You're going to have things like
But these other prosecutors don't allow DUIs to enter into these programs at all.
Well, and I'll say that's a gray area of the law.
According to other pretrial diversion programs across the state, these programs usually last at least 6 months or longer. But some of Howard's cases show from the time of arrest to the time he dismissed a case, it was only a month, sometimes just weeks.
It's about, giving people a second chance to save their jobs. I haven't done anything wrong other than try to be fair to people, be fair to all people. And Will, let me tell you what they're in my tenure as solicitor, I have dismissed 340 cases.
But through all of this, Howard still maintains he's done nothing wrong and says the reason he's stepping down is because of online harassment from his county state court judge and attorney Ben Sessions, who has been an outspoken critic of Howard's.
Now, despite Howard stepping down, there are still several agencies investigating. The district attorney has asked the GBI to open an inquiry, and the prosecuting attorney's qualifications commission is also investigating. We have reached out to the county to see what the process is for selecting a new county solicitor. Of course, we'll keep you posted on what happens.